In the heart-pounding world of professional cycling, where triumph echoes and setbacks reverberate, Chris Froome once stood as an invincible force in the sport. A four-time Tour de France champion, Chris Froome's name glittered on the pinnacle of the sport, and his unparalleled success had made him the best Grand Tour rider of his generation. However, as the way is with cycling, there was an unforeseen twist in the tale of these unprecedented triumphs, giving way to a devastating descent into adversity. Today we're going to look at exactly that day that turned the tide for Chris Froome's career forever. In 2019, Chris Froome was coming off a very successful season in 2018, where he had managed to win his third consecutive Grand Tour in a row by winning the Giro d'Italia after he had won not only the Tour de France but also the Vuelta a España in 2017. The Giro was truly a remarkable chapter in his career, as it looked like he was out of contention, but with a remarkable comeback towards the end, he clinched the race with an epic attack on the final few stages. He really turned the tide and seized control of the race and won the Giro d'Italia, becoming the first British rider to do so. And thereafter he went to the Tour de France with a view to get his fifth title and become the first rider to win the Giro d'Italia and Tour in the same season since Marco Pantani did in 1998. However, it was not to be Chris Froome's turn, but rather his teammate Geraint Thomas, who sealed the victory, but Chris Froome still got a third place. So then when we fast forward to 2019, here Chris Froome had a slow build-up towards the Tour de France, but as Chris Froome showed, he was always a clinical force at the Tour. Unfortunately, on June the 12th, 2019, during a recon of stage 4 of the Critérium du Dauphiné, disaster struck as Froome, on a very windy day, suffered a catastrophic crash on the treacherous descent of the Col de Biche. The injuries included a fractured right femur, a broken elbow, fractured ribs, and all the injuries were very severe. The crash not only shattered him physically, but also cast a shadow over his future in the sport. Froome didn't return to competitive racing that year, but almost 3 months into the recovery, Froome was confirmed to participate in the 7th edition of the Saitama Critérium in Japan, and later posted to social media that he was back training on the road. As Froome navigated the dual challenges of physical rehabilitation and the emotional toll of being on the sideline from Tour de France in 2019, he found himself at a crossroads. The disappointment fueled a renewed determination, and the road to recovery became a metaphorical climb. In early 2020, Chris Froome revealed that he had received the green light to commence full training, marking a pivotal stage in his recovery. Chris Froome was training hard with his teammates in Gran Canaria, emphasizing his primary goal of returning to the Tour de France with the ambition of securing his fifth title. Froome made his anticipated comeback to the World Tour at the UAE Tour with nothing special in terms of the results, but it was a big step in reintegration into professional cycling after that hiatus. Subsequent to the easing of lockdown measures, Froome participated in the Route d'Occitanie, the Tour de l'Ain, and the Critérium du Dauphiné. And on July the 9th, 2020, news broke that Chris Froome's long-standing contract with Team Ineos would not be extended beyond the conclusion of the 2020 season. This announcement was a notable development considering Froome's association with the team since its inception in 2010 and the amount of wins he had got for the team. On the same day, Froome signed a long-term deal with Israel effective from the 2021 season, something that sparked ripples through the cycling world. However, on August the 19th, 2020, an unwelcome news came for the Froome camp as Team Ineos decided not to select the four-time champion for the Tour de France. Instead, Froome was designated as the team's leader for the Vuelta a España, where he failed to do anything of note. And this also marked his final race with Ineos before embarking on the next chapter of his cycling journey with Israel Startup Nation, which also incidentally made him the most paid cyclist in the world as well. Ahead of the 2021 season, Froome immersed himself in training and intensive rehabilitation in the Southern California, determined to make a triumphant return to professional cycling with his new team. The anticipation for his debut with Israel Startup Nation, and subsequently Froome adjusted his plans and aimed to commence his season at the UAE Tour. Despite setbacks, Froome received a nod for the Tour de France that year, marking his first appearance at the race since 2018. Surprisingly, Israel's startup nation named Michael Woods as the team leader over Froome, and Froome faced adversities in the opening stages as he was caught up in crashes, sustaining injuries, yet he persevered and eventually finished the race in Champs-Élysées. A lot of adversities for Froome in that year's Tour de France, and really showed his perseverance that he finished the race where many would have stopped. In 2022, Froome made his season debut at the Coppi Bartoli stage race following a bout of knee tendon inflammation. Notably, during the Mercantour Classic in late May, Froome achieved his best results since his crash in the Dauphiné in 2019, finishing 11th in the challenging mountain race, and this brought some confidence back to the Brit once again. At the Tour de France, Froome was yet again not part of the upper echelon of the race, but on stage 12 really showed himself in the breakaway as he managed to get in the decisive move on the Alpe d'Huez stage. However, ultimately he wasn't strong enough to beat his younger countryman of Tom Pidcock, yet the Brit still managed to secure a top 3 finish on the stage. His tour ended prematurely as he had to withdraw after stage 18 following a positive COVID-19 test. Undeterred, Froome returned to competition at the Vuelta a España, though he struggled at the race, an arena where he had been dominating in the past. The 2023 season began in Australia for Froome as he took part in the Tour Down Under and the Cadel Ocean Road Race, but no notable result came for him in the early stages. The Tour Rwanda saw Froome leading Israel Premier Tech, but he concluded the race outside the top 20 overall. He did, however, have a notable breakaway on the 5th stage, which garnered some attention. Further to this, Froome experienced more disappointment as the team decided not to select Chris Froome for the Tour de France that year. Froome claimed that he was ready for the Tour and in fighting spirits, and he also received a lot of public criticism from team owner Sylvan Adams, hinting that the rider he signed back in 2021 was not the rider that he got. Despite this, Froome later extended with the team until 2025, and this will mean that once the contract expires, Froome will be 40 years old. As the wheels of Chris Froome's cycling odyssey continues to turn, each revolution tells a story of triumph and tribulation for the Kenyan-born Brit. From the heights of the Tour de France victories to the depths of rehabilitation and unforeseen challenges, the road ahead is uncertain and the narrative unfolds with every uphill battle and a possible comeback still waiting in the shadows. In the grand theatre of cycling, Froome is not just a rider, he's a protagonist, a character who has weathered storms and emerged on the other side with renewed vigor. The cheers and triumphs and echoes of setbacks are etched into the fabric of his legacy, but is this legacy damaged by the continuation of his career? That's basically it for this video. Make sure to hit the like button if you haven't already, and of course let me know down below what you think of Chris Froome as a rider and what an incredible legacy he still has. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you around.